happened during this session. Okay, give me a moment. I will answer your question in a bit. Okay, so Nazi is asking about the grading scheme, whatever you want to call it. All right. 3, let me answer you in a moment, Nazi. 3, I want us to have a midterm, and the midterm is next Monday at 7 p.m. Your class is from 5 to 8, isn't it? Officially, it's 5 to 8. Let's do it at 6:30. Okay? How do you feel about this? Is it November 2?
Doctor, it could be about everything.
Okay,
from the
I will tell you.
From the beginning of the year.
Yes, it is November 2. I was checking the date. It is actually lab 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 only. Let me show you your grades for you to know where you are. So this is your assignments. And let me move this a bit and this a bit. And I urge you to complete your lab reports. So far, you finished lab 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right? Lab 5, you're supposed to submit it tonight, or am I wrong? So anyway.
It's correct.
Yes.
Tonight.
All right. So probably I won't have enough time to correct lab 5, and it's okay. As long as you have your grades up to lab 4, and you have the time to fix your mistakes, and to meet with me this week, and to find all the problems you have, so I think you will be ready for the final exam, okay? So I mean the midterm, not the final exam. So yes, so the midterm is gonna be next Monday at 6:30 p.m. It's gonna be on Blackboard. You've never done any midterm before. Don't worry, I will send you the assignment and you will see how to proceed. I'm gonna also be online on WebEx in case you have any question, okay? Do we have a meeting next week? Meeting next week, Monday. Monday at 5 p.m. in case you have questions. So I'm gonna say this is optional. All right? I'm gonna say it's from 5. Okay, let it be open. Probably you need me for 20 minutes or for an hour or for 30 minutes. I'm gonna start at 5 and give you as much time as you want. Okay? What else? Now the grading scheme. You know that the course is 75% of your grade, right? And you know that the lab is 25% of your grade. I'm talking about physics 111 that is 4 credits. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right? Now inside the lab, you have 25% for the midterm, and you have 50% for the lab reports. So that those lab reports are 50% of the 25, which means half your lab grade, and eventually you have 25% for the final exam. Okay? How does it sound? Did I answer your question, Nazir?
Yes, sure.
All right. During today, I'm gonna stay with you until 6 p.m. I'm staying here until 6 p.m. You are welcome to leave or to ask me any question you have. All right? Which means I'm gonna target any of lab 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm sure you're working probably now on lab 5. I'm here to help you out. So I'm gonna answer each and every one. Probably you can mute yourself and work on lab 5 until 6 o'clock and ask me questions. Before you leave to do your work, I want you please, 1 second. The admin is calling me. Apparently it's urgent.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yeah.
About, we have experiment 6 also, or only experiment 5?
Experiment for the midterm, you only have up to experiment 4. But today I need to answer any question that you're doing. Okay? All right, but before you go and do your work or ask me any question you want, I want Rima to respond and each and every one. I want you, please, to give me a time of our one-to-one meeting. So one-to-one meeting with the following students, which is everyone.
It will be on Monday, the
Let
one-to-one
it
meeting.
be this week. So you can tell me tomorrow at 12 noon or something like that.
Can I do it on Friday? On Friday?
Yes, I want
because
you, please,
on Friday
yeah.
I don't have courses a lot.
Yeah, listen, I want you please to give me a moment because somebody in the parking is calling me and apparently it's urgent. I'm gonna mute myself to answer the call. It's the admin or the security guy, I don't know. Give me 1 minute only. All right, so it was the security guy, yes, because I'm on campus, but it wasn't urgent. I wish I did not answer him. I will call him later. All right, so Rima or Nazih, when do you want us to meet? Friday, what time?
On Friday at 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.? 6 p.m. you said?
Yes, 6 p.m. Correct.
Okay, good for me. Thank you, Nazih. Now you can mute yourself and go work on lab 5. Ask me questions in a moment. Fadi will not respond to me, right? No.
No, I will. No, I will, doctor. I will.
When do you want us to meet, Fadi? And would you like to tell me anything?
Doctor, yeah, Friday, but I'm not sure what time. Like Friday.
Please check your schedule. This is very serious.
Yeah, but doctor, what's it called? Because of the time difference. There's a 2-hour time difference between me and Lebanon.
Still, it's normal for me. No problem with that. Just tell me what time. Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Go take 5 minutes and check your schedule. Carl, I don't think I need you for a long time. You're doing okay. I just want to push you through your mistakes. So I need not a lot of time. When are you available starting tomorrow? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? For us to meet and check your mistakes.
I can tomorrow anytime after 11 o'clock.
Let me see. Tomorrow I have, I should be back home. I have a class at 5. So probably 4:30 p.m.
Yes, I can today after the session or no? Cannot.
Yeah, probably. Let's try today. If we can finish today, probably I will cancel your meeting tomorrow. Dana is not with us.
Doctor,
I'm gonna email Dana. Yes.
Friday at 11
a.m. Friday at 11 a.m. I am available. So where's Fadi? Friday at 11 a.m. All right.
And doctor, for lab 2 and 3, I sent them to you, what's it called, by email, not on Blackboard.
No, please, you have to submit on Blackboard and this is a must.
Okay, I'll submit them like now.
Yeah, this is very important. And listen, if you're having difficulty submitting, let me know.
Okay, sure, doctor. Thank you.
The doctor, I have a question.
Yeah.
About my grades, are they good? My grades are good.
Okay, your grades are good or not? Let me see. By the way, can I put this away? Yes. And this one, I don't need it. Okay. So what's up with this Nazih's grade? Nazih, I think the 78, you can push it up, and the 40 is incomplete. 87 and 90 are good. So I think you can do so much better with 40 and 78.
Okay, I will fix it and I will resend it to you on the weekends.
Of course. So
if you don't mind.
Of course I don't mind. I'm here to help you again, because otherwise everybody will be failing the lab. Come on. So let the lab be a positive thing for the course. Leia, when do you want us to meet?
We can meet tomorrow or on Thursday.
Let it be Thursday.
After Thursday.
Thursday after what time?
1.
By the way, Thursday is a day off. Probably you don't have classes.
Yes.
Okay. How about we meet in the evening?
So
do you mind?
all day.
Like 5 p.m. Okay, if you're not, or probably in the morning. No, I'm not sure I'm gonna be available in the morning. Let it be in the afternoon. Okay, 5 p.m. is good.
Yes, okay.
All right. If you want to modify the timing, please let me know. Joseph, when can we meet? Wednesday afternoon, I'm very free. I have a lot of free time. And Wednesday morning too. Joseph, anytime. Joseph is not here. Michelle, I need to email Michelle because Michelle has...
Can I change the phone?
Say it again, Leia. Leia, did you say something? Am I the one who has internet connection issues, or is it you, Leia? Okay, you're typing it on the chat. Let me check.
Doctor, I just have another thing to add.
Please, Nazih, go ahead.
Also for experiment 6, would you give us something to work on? Experiment 6?
No, we will have 1 week break. All right?
It's better.
Yeah,
to fix our mistakes.
Yes, so basically some students, yes, Joseph, no problem. Some students are not doing well, and I thought if I give you 1 week off, it's better to make sure everybody is on track with me. And if I give you lab 6, probably a lot of students will not do well. Lab 6 is a little bit tough. And lab 5 is also tough. So I want to make sure you guys are okay, give you some time to breathe and finish up from the midterm, because you know midterm is a big deal. So for you to have a midterm and a lab 6, I think it's gonna be crazy. Probably later on, I can offer you 2 labs in 1 week. All right, so Leia, 3 p.m. Wednesday, let's do that. I'm gonna say 3 p.m. Wednesday, okay? So Wednesday, 3 p.m. Why not? Okay. Again, if you're not at home, you can simply meet me from your phone. Just make sure prior to your meeting, make sure you prepare all your questions for physics lab. All right. If you don't have questions, don't worry. I have a lot to tell you. But if you do have questions, it's gonna be awesome for us to sit and discuss all the questions you have. Okay. I'm gonna talk to Rima. Rima, any preferred timing?
Yes, I think Wednesday at 4.
Wednesday at 4 is gonna be awesome. Wednesday at 4. What about Joseph?
Doctor, can I do it as Friday at 4? Friday at 4?
Friday at 4 for Nazih.
Because it will be better.
Probably I have a meeting, but.
At 5. It's better.
Actually, can you do at 2?
I have a class.
Okay, what time do you finish class?
At 3. I'll do it at 3:30.
3:30. Okay, 3:30 is good. Yeah, 3:30 is good. Yes. Yeah, so Joseph was saying, writing something in the chat, MWF after 3. Let's see. I already have a Wednesday at 3, Wednesday at 4, probably Wednesday at 3:30. Hopefully 30 minutes will be enough for each student. So Wednesday at 3:30, is it good? Okay, so I still need to talk to Dana and to Michelle. By the way, Dana and Michelle are not doing okay. All right. I'm gonna write those in the announcement as a reminder for everyone and put them in my calendar for me not to forget. I will also try to remind you on WhatsApp. Everybody is on WhatsApp. Let me see. Let me see. How many are you? Are you 8 students? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I go to our WhatsApp, physics 111, I can see how many participants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 students are missing. Okay. Rima is, Carl, Joseph, Michelle is not. And who else is not? Fadi. Fadi, if you add your name to the WhatsApp, probably it will be good for you because I can send you reminders sometimes.
Yeah, okay. So I just put my number here or?
No, listen, if you go to the announcements and
okay,
you scroll down, 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 you will see the link to the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sure.
Let me make sure the link is right. Is it PRE at the end and ZWIM? Because for some reason, a lot of my students were adding themselves to another group. Anyway, the link is right. So you can find the link and you can add your name. You don't need my intervention. Okay, so for example, I can send you a reminder because I know that probably you're gonna forget about our meetings. All right, so any question about lab 5? You can mute yourself and work until 6 p.m. while I talk to Carl.
I have a question.
Yes.
أول شيء المتر رح يكون lab report.
All right, the midterm, I don't actually know, but I can give you some options. Okay, so the midterm, usually, I'm gonna say maybe. Okay, maybe you will have a multiple choice a section and a subjective section. All right, a multiple choice section is usually you have like 30 questions to be done in 30 minutes. In those you will have a lot of data analysis. So I will ask you to do averages, I will ask you to do RMS, I will ask you to probably pick a plot or find the slope. And yes, you can use Excel. You can use Excel or calculator. So please be ready with Excel or calculator. All right. I can ask you conceptual questions. What I mean by conceptual questions, for example, if the length of the pendulum increases, what happens to the period, and so on and so forth. So questions with no numerical values, or probably questions with numerical values, Okay, so this is what I mean by multiple choice. And believe me, you will have a lot of data analysis questions in which I will ask you to round, to count the number of sig figs, to add a unit, and so on and so forth. How do we study for a midterm? You're not supposed to be studying for a midterm. You're supposed to know how to do your lab report so well that you acquire a method and skills, and therefore you only need to have a quick review for the theory for you to be able to do the lab, the midterm. Also, the midterm is gonna be fast. I mean by fast, you will have 30 questions, 30 minutes, which means you should be trained how to solve things fast. You don't have the time to go search for the equation. You don't have the time to go find it on Google. It's really fast. So practice fast, This is very important. Also, the questions will be shuffled. So, in other words, you will not have the same questions as your friend. And probably I need to offer around 50 questions, and you will be solving the first 30 questions, which means you and your friend, you will end up with different questions. All right? And most probably I'm not gonna proctor you because probably I cannot control the cheating anyway, and there's no way for you to cheat. So this is just to make it clear on you, but I can give you more answers later on when I write the midterm. For the subjective sections, and maybe you have a subjective question, maybe not, I don't know yet. It's basically, I will give you a tiny mini lab report, like mini lab report. I will ask you to plot, find the average, and so on and so forth. Usually, you solve this on a paper. You take a picture and upload your work. But please upload only one file. So do you know how to take a picture of your work and upload it? How to make all the pictures to be on one file? You need an app to scan. App on your phone to scan your work, your papers. You know what I'm talking about? Some students in your class are not great in computer literacy. Some students don't know how to write emails well and probably don't know how to use apps well, and it's okay because you were not trained in high school, and probably you're much better than other sections, or other sections are better than you. But again, you're here to learn and you're here to improve, and you will learn how to find an app on your phone to scan some papers. When you scan the papers, the app will give you the file as a PDF file, hopefully with low size for you to be able to upload quick. Imagine the exam is 30 minutes and you need 30 minutes to upload your work. You will miss the deadline, right? So I want you to train yourself for this, because eventually in the final exam, you will definitely have a subjective section. Okay, now for the midterm, probably I will give you multiple choice only. Probably I will add a subjective section because the subjective section is easier for you. You gain more grades on the subjective section. The multiple choice is either a full grade or a bad grade, so it's risky. Okay? Did I answer your question, Nazih and everyone else, and Carl?
Yes, it's all clear.
Yes.
Thanks.
More questions?
About lab 5.
Yeah. Let me move to lab 5. I wish I had it ready, but anyway, it's here. Yes, physics 111. Just see lab 5. Yeah, what's the problem with lab 5? Give me a moment for it to open. Yes. You were asked to do the geometric, the graphical method, and the component methods, right? It's a tough lab report. You are given the experimental values. They want you to find F3 using the theoretical method, like this method and then this method. Yes, Carl, what's your question?
I'm now in the graphic method.
Yes.
When I found F3,
Yes.
how I compare it to which one? To the experimental or to the component?
Good question. Let me read the question they want. Apply. Okay. Show your calculations. Okay. How do the theoretical values for the magnitude and direction compare to the actual? All right. So here you're supposed to compare two things. Compare the theory to the experiment, because usually we do this. The experiment, 1 second. You are not given F3. Bala, you are given the mass, and therefore you can, all right, so you will have 3 different F3s. You have F3 experimental, right?
Yes, the first two F3s I found them, the experimental and the component one.
Yeah, and you have F3 theoretical that you got from the component, and you have F3 theoretical that you got from the graphical. Okay? Now you're supposed to compare, let me find the draw option. You're supposed to compare this one to this one, and to compare this one to this one. And by compare, I mean find the percentage difference, and this one you find the percentage difference. Okay?
Okay. But I have to find the percentage for each one.
Yes, for each and every F3. And eventually they want you to comment, be general. Usually, if the percentage difference is below 5%, you can say it's accurate, okay? And you can list the sources of errors. So usually how do I comment? I check accuracy, and then I think of sources of errors, and I try to give 3 sources of errors as a minimum. So 2 is not enough. What else?
In part A, we were not asked to compare. And I only do it for the graphical method, or no?
I think this question is not for part A, neither for part B. It's for the whole lab report.
Okay.
And I was talking to Leah a few minutes ago, and I noticed that probably you will have a greater percentage error for the graphical, and probably you want to discuss that by saying that the graphical method is an estimation method. It has a lot of estimation and it has more errors. So probably the sources of errors for the component method or the graphical method are going to be a little different. So probably you will discover that the component method is more accurate than the graphical method. I don't know. Keep that in mind. When you comment and you discuss accuracy, probably you want to compare both theoretical method as method 1 and method 2, which is more accurate, and probably list differently the sources of errors. Joseph,
I did the graphical method.
Yeah.
Only for the first F3, and I found that it's more accurate than the component.
Really?
And
So,
it's more close to the experimental.
Yeah, probably the experimental is the one that is bad.
Yes.
So probably say a bit.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. So probably by pure chance, since F3 has a lot of errors and the graphical method has a lot of errors, so probably they were close to each other. And probably the component method is the most accurate method. Usually I don't, that's the theoretical, the reference for me, because the component method would give you the most precise answer. So
we have to compare for the component?
Yeah, you have to compare the experimental with the component and the experimental with the graphical.
Doctor?
So if I were you, I would write a conclusion to discuss all that. And remember, the lab report is an open-ended lab report, which means you can discuss anything you want. By the way, let me talk a minute to Joseph, because probably Joseph.
I have one question.
Yeah, 1 second. Joseph said that he submitted the lab. Yes, Joseph, I saw lab 5. And you are the only one to submit lab 5. Kudos for that. Okay. By the way, I saw it before 4:55, or was I mistaken? Yeah, probably. Yes, who was asking?
Dr. Fadi.
Yes, Fadi.
I just wanted to ask you if we can use a graphic calculator for these, for the lab.
Yes, you can use a graphic calculator, but why do you need it for?
No, just like in case, like also for the midterm, I'm asking. Find slope and then plot.
You are at home.
Yeah.
And most probably, I will not proctor you.
Okay.
Which means, Fadi, you can do whatever you want without me knowing.
No. No, I won't do that. I won't do that.
No, what I mean by that, listen, what I mean by that is not that I don't trust you. I mean that you have the freedom to do whatever you want, and I have my constraints. You see?
Yeah.
So if you know how to use the graphic calculator to answer the questions I give you, go ahead. I told you, you can use Google, you can use Excel sheet. So this is more powerful than the graphical calculator.
Sure.
All right? But to be able to answer the questions I would give you, 1, you have to be fast, which means Google will slow you down. 3, you should know how to solve things really well, otherwise you waste time. And 3, there's nothing you need to remember for you to be able to cheat. And the worst thing you can do, and I cannot track, is for you to have a tutor at home doing the exam for you. This is the only thing I cannot control, right? Unless you open your camera, and yet, even if you open your camera, you can still do that. All right?
Yeah, no, doctor, no one will come to my house. It's not safe.
Where are you?
Doctor?
Kabul?
I'm in Sultanate of Oman.
It's not safe?
No, like the cases are chill. Like we just got out of lockdown like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I was joking, but you know what I mean. Be ready, okay? And be
Yeah,
free.
of course,
You
doctor.
can
Khalas.
eat, you
And,
can shower during the exam, anything you want. You can sleep. I wouldn't know. Just make sure you finish the questions I give you on time, and it's gonna be challenging. I mean the
Okay.
timing, okay? So be
Okay,
ready.
doctor.
That's all. Yes.
Okay.
Any other question? All right.
Doctor, about the exam,
Yeah.
you have to know the formulas, of course. You have to know the formulas, all of them.
Yeah.
Like the projectile.
If you want, prepare a formula sheet. Since I cannot see you and I won't be able to proctor you, create a formula sheet. I mean by formula sheet, a paper or a note card on which you summarize all the equations. So if I give you a question and questions and you need to be quick, you look at this paper. Why not? All right? I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. Say it again.
For example, the propagation of error. The propagation of error.
Yeah.
You write it on the paper, so you cannot forget it.
Yeah, why not? Why
You
not?
want to calculate the
because
error.
probably I don't care if you know the equation or not. I want to know if you know how to use it. So even if you have it in front of you and you don't know how to use it, it's gonna be bad, you know? So propagation of error is a big deal. Like you need to train yourself to know how to do it to be able to answer the midterm. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Any questions related to lab 5? All right. Now I need to meet with Carl. Yes.
I do have.
Yes, Carl.
When in the component method, when we found the resultant,
Yes.
then we find the angle by putting cosine alpha equals the Rx over R. And we do cosine minus 1. Masalan, if we found 43 degrees,
yes.
When we want to write it in the table, we have to put it 43 plus 180, yes?
Yes. Yes. This is the same question Leia asked me. Sorry, Leia, I still did not answer your question. Please, you have the video of the experiment. Take a screenshot and draw the disk. If F3 is like this, and I don't know, you have the 0, okay? Be careful, Carl and Leia and everyone else. F3 is not the resultant of F1 and F2. F3 is, I'm sorry, it's the opposite to the resultant, and this will affect your angle. So if you have F1 and you have F2, this is the resultant. F3 is pointing opposite to the resultant, which means the angle will be different. And always measure the angle from the 0. So if the 0 is here and you can see it on the video, you have to add whatever the angle plus 180 or whatever, okay? I cannot answer your question, Carl, because I don't have the disk in front of me. But yes, the angle you find is not the angle you need to put in here. Okay?
So doctor, we just added by the angle that's like we find, and then that's the we need.
Yeah, so draw the disk again, draw F1, draw F2. I already showed you the disk with the drawings, and I think they are here, composition. I think in the whiteboard. We have something whiteboard. Let me show it to you now. Does it open directly or it needs to be downloaded? Okay, it's opening because it's PDF. Look at this. This is the drawing I mean I want you to use. It's at the end of the file. It's here. So I show you, I'm not labeling. I think this is F1, this is F2, and F3 will be the resultant. The resultant is, or at F3 is opposite. And this is where the 0 is, and you should count from here the angle. So in your case, probably you found this angle. So if you found this angle, think about how you would find this one. All right? I advise you to draw a better drawing. Show F1, show F2, show all the graduation, calculate the angle you want, and then check what would be the angle on the disk. Okay? I don't have an answer.
It's 180 because it's the opposite, no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That's correct.
But it depends.
I did it same way.
Yeah, but Carl, basically it depends what is the angle you're calculating. The problem is the angle you're calculating probably would be different than what Leia's calculating. That's why I cannot answer this question. It depends which angle you need to find. But most probably you are right. Okay, so yes, it's you add 180. And by the way, you shouldn't be scared. If your answer is close to those, most probably you are right. If your answer is very far from those, so probably you have a mistake, and I can take one example with you later on and do it together. Okay? All right. I assume, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that we don't have questions. You don't have any more questions, and I can meet with Carl. But I don't have to meet with Carl if you have questions related to Lab 5. Okay, since your guys are not responding, it means positive. Carl, my plan with you is the following. I want to open all your lab reports and discuss each. I'm gonna start with the last one. If any of the other students are listening to this, it's not bad because it would be beneficial anyway. I have a lot of videos happening here. It's bothering me. So Carl, let me start with the last lab report you have. Lab 4, it should be the inclined plane. Usually it opens slow because I'm on WebEx and Zoom. All right. So Carl, please, in the coming lab reports, including Lab 5, remove the manual section. Is that understood?
Okay.
It's not a big deal though, but it's better because it's your lab report. Okay, give me a moment to scroll down. It's great you have your name on and the date. This is very important. I'm very glad you know the uncertainty on the mass is the smallest subdivision because it's digital and you took it from the video. This is the smallest subdivision divided by 2 because we're talking about the protractor. You know how to do the RMS, although you don't show your work, so I'm not sure how you got 0.03, 0.004, and 0.001. Can I assume you know how to find the RMS? How did you do it?
Yes, doctor. I did them on my worksheet.
Yeah. Always show your work. This is important in the coming lab reports because it is the only way for me to check if you have mistakes or not. Now this one I'm not sure about, the 0.08, because it's not supposed to be the same for all the trials. So probably I need to sit with you and discuss how to find the error on the theoretical value. And I think nobody in this class knows how to do it. But I don't want to do it as teamwork. I want to do it with each and every one of you because probably it's a little bit tough. And again, you can solve it again and modify and submit again. Let's do it at the end. You discuss the sources of error and I agree with each and every one of those. But please write each in a sentence and explain. All right, like explain where do you have friction, where's air resistance, what do you mean by assumption of gravity? I know what you mean, but write it in a full sentence. All right? When they say the angle of inclination, when they say the angle of inclination increases, the acceleration also increases. I totally agree with this, especially, all right, so let me type it. I don't like Blackboard, it takes me forever anyway, let me type it in here. So A is equal to G dot sine theta, right? Or sine, all right, theta, I'm gonna write theta. It's very important to show that A is proportional to sine theta. I know it's good to say that theta increases, acceleration increases. But now that you're doing physics lab and you are freshmen and you are in college, it's not enough to say increase, increase. It's good to say proportional or not. And it's good to say proportional with who? And the only way to discuss proportionality is to check, is A1 divided by sine theta 1 equal to A2 divided by sine theta 2? Is the ratio A divided by sine theta constant throughout all the trials? So try to discuss this, okay? Although I did not remove grades on this one, but I want to push all the class not to say increase, increase. Only grade 9 students can say increase, increase. On your level, you have to discuss linear relationship, proportional, inversely proportional, and you should learn how to prove it. Find a constant ratio. Do I make sense, Carl?
Yes, doctor.
All right. And every time you do the percentage difference, discuss if it's below 5%, say accurate. Above 5%, say not accurate. If you want, you can say below 20% is acceptable because all the equipment in the lab will give you real experiments and real approach, and usually we can go up to 20%, but it doesn't mean it's accurate. All right? Here the acceleration decreases when the mass increases. Look, look, you have 5 degrees, right? And 5 degrees again. You have 500 grams, and here you have 600 grams, and you got exactly the same acceleration. So please, how on earth you say acceleration decreases when the mass increases? For me, the acceleration is exactly the same. Theoretically and experimentally, it's approximately the same. This is crazy. What you just said here is crazy, Carl. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed. I'm devastated. Didn't you say that A is G sine theta? Where's the mass? It is not mass dependent. And I'm so sad you did not see it.
Yeah.
But I'm not blaming you. Probably I was not clear enough. But this is very, very, very important. The acceleration does not depend on the mass. And it's in the theory. And look, your values, 746 and 711 are so close. Probably friction played a trick on you. And that's why they're not exactly the same. Probably heavier objects will feel more friction. Probably, I don't know. Probably you can discuss it in here. And this is also bad because they want you to devise a procedure in which you show that the acceleration and the mass are inversely proportional. You do the same experiment, although the same experiment, the incline, shows you that acceleration and mass are not, let me write it in here. I will assume this is a scratch paper for me. Probably need a thinner pen. Don't we have that F is equal to MA? And we did that together. F is equal to MA. Didn't we prove on our whiteboard that F is mg sine theta? And you actually draw the mg and you show that one of the component of the mg is the one responsible for the moment, for the motion. And didn't we cancel out the m? And doesn't this show that the acceleration is equal to g sine theta, which means it's not mass dependent. And now I want you to devise an experiment to show me a case where m does not cancel out. You give me the same experiment, which is the incline. So I'm not blaming you. Again, you missed the idea, okay? And this is the reason why your grade is not as high as the other lab reports. Do you understand, Carl?
Yes, in the last question, I did not understand what they want us to do.
Yeah, so probably you can tell me, I have a card on a straight table and I use a wire and probably I apply a known force that is constant, not mg, not with an angle because you don't want the mass to cancel out. And knowing the force being a constant, I vary the mass, the acceleration would vary in an inversely proportional way. Any simple experiment will do the work. Okay? Anyway, take your time, check it out. If you still believe it's not clear to you, you can ask me again. Before the end of the time, probably I can check the other lab reports, and they're gonna be quick because you have high grades. I suppose you don't have big issues. The only thing that is not quick is the internet connection on campus. I had class at 2 and the internet connection was down. I did not give a class. I'm so lucky today at 5 you can hear me. Okay. All right, this is nice. The error on the angle, please go back to the video I sent you and check what is the smallest subdivision divided by 2. Same with the range. I showed you which ruler I was using. Check the smallest subdivision divided by 2. Okay, I think it's 1 millimeter. And the smallest subdivision is 1 millimeter divided by 2. It's gonna be 0.5, which is 1 decimal, which means you have to fix all that with 1 decimal. And this one is gonna be 1 decimal. So fix all that with 1 decimal. So the error should be included. When you see plus or minus, it means add the error. Do you understand, Carl?
Yes.
And modify your values accordingly. If the error is 1 decimal, all the values add 0.0, 0.0, 0.0. All right, this is awesome. This is awesome. I think you have no issues, only this. Let me check probably the sources of errors. This is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, you said the vector can be anti-parallel to A. So A is vertical down. V can be vertical up. I find it weird. You said E is projectile motion. Don't forget the parachutist, by default, you have air resistance because of the parachute, which makes your projectile motion no more a projectile motion. Okay? And the kinetic energy does not depend on the velocity. It depends on the speed only. Why? Because it's V squared. But this is not a big deal. Because when the velocity is not constant, the speed is also not constant. Or isn't it? Check them out. The conceptual questions, check them out alone. My work is to help you with the error. Do you know how to do the error? If you want to fix them, Carl, fix them, because the purpose of you fixing your work is to learn from your mistakes and submit again. Okay? I know that 97 is already too high as a grade. Is it 97? But the purpose is not the grade. The purpose is to make sure you understand your mistakes. All right? Let me check a previous lab, which is lab number 2. Carl, lab number 2. It's a pleasure to read your lab reports, Carl. I enjoyed Leia's labs too. Michelle's lab made me so frustrated. I wish Michelle is with us. لا بيقول لي Michelle, look أنا كنت online ما شفتيني. وينه Michelle? And then I go to WebEx. By the way, WebEx takes attendance. I don't need to take attendance myself. And I check and I see Michelle. He's like a ghost. He drives me crazy. All right. Units, be careful. Seconds and meter per second. This is a big deal, and I think you learned from the mistake. Okay, this is 1.7. You rounded to 2, not 0.2. I think that's a typo. And if this is 2...
Yes, I told you last time that I wrote it on my workbook 2.2, not 0.2.
Yeah, but 2.0 is wrong. It has to be 2, one significant figure.
One significant, yeah.
Yeah, and you must round this to 8 and not 8.5. Because 2 has no decimals, the average should be similar, no decimals as well. Okay, and again, explain each, same command. And it's good if you include the sketches directly under the question. I couldn't enjoy your graphs well, but it's okay. Let me tell you why. I think you know why, and it's wrong to waste time on this. Because look, you see, the graphs are not visible. They are visible on the next page. So your graph is broken. by taking a screenshot, insert, but I think you know by now, right? That one?
Yes, before I didn't know that we can copy paste a graph from Excel to Word. I did it in the next lab, in lab 4.
Yeah, I know. I totally saw that you did it. Also, when you have a midterm and you are asked to plot, please take a screenshot. You can do a screenshot. You know how to do a screenshot on your laptop? I think
yes,
screenshots are prettier than copy paste. Yeah, because copy paste sometimes doesn't work, but a screenshot would always work. Only calculation mistake, which is not a big deal, and everything else is right. This is where you showed me excellent work, and I was so delighted. All right, Carl, our meeting is over. Unless you have more questions for me, I'm gonna write the following: that meeting with Carl is done. Okay, so done. Okay, please email me. Let them email me, and Michelle, please email me. So you guys, I'm done. You are dismissed. Yes.
Can we submit lab 5 tomorrow?
You need more time? Can you give me a reason why? And of course you can do that. Just give me a reason.
I finished the first 2 parts, but I still have the graphical one, and I didn't know that we have to compare each one. And بس عند the comparison. It takes maybe 30 minutes, but I need to go. I had a dentist, and I'm meeting my friends.
Of course, you convinced me. I gave you 24 hours extra for everyone.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, I know it's time consuming. The point is for you to do the work well, okay? I'm gonna stop recording, but I'm gonna stay with you in